What do you make of this brand new article that just came out by MSN that says Lincoln Riley thinks it's a positive Caleb Williams is no longer on the team? Now, if you know anything about the backstory and the history, Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams have been essentially paired at the hip since Caleb Williams came out of high school, and he thinks it's a positive. Now, when you go through and look at this article, it details some concerning issues that might hold up the progress of the Chicago Bears QB and by extension, the Chicago Bears offense. We might be looking at another round. If you're a Bears fan, you've been around this block a few different times. We might be looking at another example of a QB that is taking longer than expected to develop. If we look at this, it says Caleb Williams has to relearn how to play QB this spring, which is kind of concerning considering he was a quote-unquote can't-miss prospect. I don't want my can't-miss prospect having to relearn the offense and relearn how to play his position. We're not asking him to move to wide receiver. We're asking him to play quarterback, something that he has essentially done since the time he was young. But I'm very interested to hear what you think about this. Caleb Williams, his former head coach, says this is a good thing that he's no longer on the team. There was another article that came out by, it mentioned or features Jalen Johnson saying that Caleb Williams has been great. My only response to that would be, of course, you have to say that. That's the de facto leader of the team, and you can't be ruffling feathers, especially since training camp hasn't even begun yet. But in my opinion, this is kind of a concern when the former head coach says losing Williams can be a positive. A lot of this, unfortunately, is just clickbait in order to get you to read these articles. I think that Caleb Williams can be in a great position to be successful as long as the offensive coordinator doesn't expect too much from him in the very beginning. It is very, very important, even though he'll be starting from game one, that the offensive coordinator that came over from Seattle bring him along slowly. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to run the ball 35 times, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. It means making very simple for him to read the defense, maybe 2 reads and then throw it away. One of the issues that we've run into with previous quarterbacks is if the first read wasn't there, the second read wasn't there, they held the ball too long and it wound up being a sack or an interception. My hope is that one of the most important things instilled into Caleb Williams is if your first read isn't there, your second read isn't there, don't start running around, throw the ball away. It worked in college. It will not work as well in the pros, because everybody is bigger, stronger, and faster. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think this is a concern here? This headline, USC thinks it's a positive Caleb Williams is no longer on the team. What do you make of this? Do you think this is just a little bit of clickbait? Or do you think that he really thinks the team is going to be better off because they're going to play more like a team? They're going to play more within the system. Another concern that a lot of people had, I know I have it, is the reason why Justin Fields isn't around is because he tend to play off schedule too much. The highlights that you see about Caleb Williams always come when he is playing off schedule. Is he going to be that same person that tries to play off schedule? And as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, it's going to be really important for the Bears to instill in him, if the first read isn't there, the second read isn't there, throw it into the 5th row of the stands. Don't take a sack. Don't try and do too much. We've seen this with, I would say, essentially every quarterback since Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler held the ball too long, tried to do too much. Justin Fields held the ball too long, tried to do too much. Mitchell Trubisky held the ball too long, tried to do too much, and couldn't really throw the ball. But aside from that major issue, I really hope that the Bears have spent a lot of time looking at previous film saying you need to throw the ball here or throw it away, because an incomplete, while won't be great for your stat line, will be great for the Bears in the long term. And if it's good for the Bears in the long term, it'll be good for you in the even longer term. So comment down below. Let me know what you think. Is it a positive that USC head coach thinks that Caleb Williams not being on the team is a positive? Make sure that you like, follow, comment, subscribe to the Bear Claw podcast, and we'll see you soon.